When you go through a period of no contact, it's almost like pressing pause on a movie. You step away and suddenly everything is quiet, uncertain, and the future feels up in the air. But when he comes back and starts testing you, it's not because he's trying to mess with your head or play games for the sake of it. There's a deeper reason behind it, one that speaks to what he's feeling inside and what he needs to figure out before he can move forward. At sea, after some time apart, a man's mind starts running through all the possibilities. He wonders if the changes you said you were making are actually real or if things are just as they were before. The no contact period isn't just a break, it's a time of reflection, not only for you, but for him too. When he tests you, what he's really doing is trying to measure your emotional stability. He wants to know if you've grown, if you've found yourself again, and if you're someone who can handle the ups and downs of a relationship with maturity. Now, why is this important? Because when someone cares about you and the relationship, they don't want to jump back in blindly. They want to feel safe, to know that the drama or the patterns that cause distance before aren't going to just replay themselves. This testing phase is a kind of emotional temperature check. Is the heat still there or has it cooled down? And more than that, is the heat sustainable? Is it the kind of warmth that comes from respect, trust, and understanding? Or is it just the sparks of old habits that will fizzle out again? This is why the test might come across as confusing or even frustrating. It might seem like he's being distant or unsure, but in reality, he's trying to protect himself emotionally. He's asking, in his own way, can I trust this? Can I believe in this again? Because trust isn't given freely after a break. It's earned slowly through consistent actions and emotional honesty. And this test is a chance for him to see if you're someone who's willing and able to build that trust with him again. At the same time, this testing isn't about control. It's about clarity. When a man tests you after no contact, he's not trying to manipulate. He's trying to understand. He's looking for signs that you're authentic, that you're not just saying the right things or acting the part because you want something from him. He's trying to see the real you beneath the surface, the you that's been growing during the silence. So, the next time you feel like he's testing you, remember this, it's not a game. It's a genuine emotional checkpoint for him. And when you respond from a place of calm confidence and truth, you're showing him exactly what he needs to see, that you're ready for something better, something real. Because at the end of the day, that's what he's looking for. Would you like me to continue expanding on the next key points in a similar style? When he comes back after no contact and starts testing you, what he's really trying to do is reassess the emotional connection between you two. It's like after some time apart, he needs to check in with himself and ask, is what we had still there? Has it changed or has it faded? Because the truth is, emotions aren't static. They shift and evolve, especially when you give each other space and time. And space has a way of bringing clarity, not just for you, but for him too. He's trying to feel out if the connection you once shared is still alive beneath the surface, or if it's become something else entirely. Maybe he's wondering if what he felt before was just comfort or familiarity, rather than something deeper and more meaningful. That's why the tests sometimes feel subtle. A question here, a reaction there, because he's watching how you respond, looking for signs that the emotional bond is still genuine and strong. But it's important to realize this isn't about putting you on trial or deciding your worth in some harsh way. It's about understanding where you both stand emotionally. After no contact, the relationship isn't the same as it was. You're both different people now because time changes us. It forces growth or it exposes truths we didn't see before. And he wants to know if the feelings that brought you together still exist, or if they've shifted into something more fragile or uncertain. When you respond to his test with honesty and openness, you're showing him that the connection is still real. You're showing that beneath the surface, there's a thread that hasn't broken, that even through the distance, you care deeply and that what you had was worth fighting for. And that matters more than you realize, because emotional connection isn't just about words or actions. It's about feeling seen, understood, and valued. He's looking for that emotional resonance, a signal that you're still emotionally invested, but also balanced and secure. At the same time, he's trying to figure out if the connection can grow in a new way, one that's healthier and stronger than before. Sometimes the test is less about the past and more about the future. He's wondering, can we build something better? Can this emotional bond evolve beyond what it was so it lasts? Because after time apart, there's an opportunity for a fresh start, but it requires both of you to be clear about what you want and who you are now. It's natural to feel anxious or defensive when he tests you like this. But remember, it's not a judgment of your value. It's a moment of truth for both of you. And when you meet that moment with calm confidence, with patience and clarity, you give him the emotional security he needs to reconnect with you on a deeper level. Because ultimately, the emotional connection is the foundation. And when that's strong, everything else, trust, respect, attraction, falls into place naturally. Want me to keep going with key point 3 next? When he tests you after no contact, one of the most important things he's really checking is your confidence. Not just the kind of confidence that comes from talking a big game or trying to impress him, but the deeper kind, the confidence that shows up when you know your worth and won't settle for less than you deserve. After time apart, he's looking to see if you've grown into someone who respects yourself enough to hold firm boundaries, someone who won't just bend to please him or chase after his approval. You see, confidence is magnetic. It's what makes you stand out without even trying. But it's not about being loud or overbearing. It's about knowing your value quietly and clearly. When he tests you, it's like he's asking, are you still the person I could count on? Or have you become someone who's strong enough to say no when something doesn't feel right? Because the truth is, a healthy relationship requires boundaries, clear ones. And if you don't have them, the whole thing can start to unravel. Think about it this way: when you respect yourself, you create a space where he can respect you too. And the moment you lose that respect for yourself, it becomes really hard for him to see you as the woman who deserves his best. So when he's testing you, he's paying close attention to how you respond when things get tricky. Are you calm and composed? Do you stand your ground? Or do you get anxious, needy, or try to fix everything just to keep the peace? Because confidence means you don't have to fix everything or make excuses for how you're feeling. You just express yourself honestly, and that's incredibly powerful. What's beautiful about this is that no contact isn't just about creating distance. It's about creating space to rebuild yourself. It's a chance for you to find your own power again, to remember who you are outside of the relationship, and to understand what you truly want and won't compromise on. And when he sees that in you, that's when the dynamic shifts. He's no longer just testing to see if you'll come running back or fall apart. He's testing to see if you're someone who brings strength and stability into the relationship. It's not easy, of course. When someone you care about pulls away and tests you, it's natural to want to reach out to seek reassurance. But the real test is about how you manage yourself in that moment. Do you scramble to fill the silence, Or do you hold steady at knowing your worth? That steadiness is what makes you truly attractive. It shows him that you're someone who values herself, at someone who won't tolerate being treated like an option or a fallback. And here's the key, at when you hold your boundaries with kindness and confidence, you don't push him away. Instead, at you invite a different kind of respect and connection. One where he wants to meet you halfway, at not just take what he wants when he wants it. That's the power of confident boundaries. They don't shut down a relationship. They open the door to something healthier and more fulfilling. So when he tests you, know this, he's watching to see if you've become that woman. Because confidence and boundaries aren't just attractive, they're essential. Ready for the last key point expanded next, when he comes back after no contact and starts testing you. At the heart of it, what he's really searching for is trust and security. After all, trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, and without it, nothing else truly matters. When there's been distance, confusion, or hurt in the past, that trust can feel fragile, like a glass that's been cracked. So the test isn't just about proving yourself, it's about showing him that you can build something safe, steady, and lasting. You have to understand that trust isn't something given freely, especially after time apart. It's earned again, step by step, through consistent actions and emotional honesty. When he tests you, it's because he wants to see if you're someone who can be relied on, someone who will show up authentically, communicate openly, and handle challenges with grace instead of drama. He's looking for the kind of security that comes from knowing that, no matter what happens, you're not going to crumble or disappear. Security isn't about controlling the other person or making sure everything is perfect all the time. It's about feeling safe enough to be vulnerable, knowing that your feelings and boundaries will be respected. That's why this testing phase is so crucial. It's his way of trying to figure out if he can trust you not just with his heart, but with the reality of the relationship. Can he be himself without fear of judgment? Can he express doubts or fears without triggering conflict? Because when you can build that kind of emotional safety, it changes everything. Think about the ways you respond when he tests you. Do you react with calm understanding or defensiveness? Do you listen to his concerns without shutting down or blaming? These small moments are where trust is either built or broken. He's paying attention to how reliable and steady you are when things get uncomfortable, not just when everything feels good and easy. And here's the beautiful part: when you show him that you're someone who can be trusted, it naturally creates a sense of security that draws him closer instead of pushing him away. Trust and security act like glue in a relationship. They hold you together when life gets tough. And they help both of you feel confident about the future. That's why his test is really an invitation to step into a new chapter, one where the relationship is based on something stronger and more resilient. It's important to remember that building trust takes time. It's not about one big gesture or a perfect conversation. It's about consistency over days, weeks, and months. So even if his test feels intense or challenging in the moment, see it as an opportunity to show him that you're committed to building something real, something lasting. At the end of the day, the reason he tests you after no contact is because he's trying to make sure that moving forward means moving into a place of trust and security. A place where you both can grow, feel safe, and love without fear.